My poor tree looks so bare. Let's make some clump foliage and give it some life. Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steve and this week we're going to be looking at making some clump foliage. I've been asked to do this by a couple of people in the past, so I thought, right, let's give it a go. So let's get to the table and crack on. Right, so what do we need to make clump foliage? You need to stick in your bits. Probably no cat hair. Bit of a, what's this, car sponge? Just so it's a different texture. And that's all your normal sponges you use for this washing up. So get rid of the green. Just strip that off. Don't chuck it because you can use it. And pick some of these bits off if you want. Just chuck them in. Right, so just continue stripping the sponges down, taking the green scourer off the top and just ripping up into little pieces and chucking it in a tub. Rips up nice and easy. Do find it does stick to you a little bit because of the static, unfortunately, a bit like polystyrene. All good fun. So I'll whack all that in there and then we'll get on to the next stage. That one's alive. Stay. Right, so I'll get that out of the way and we'll get some more kit out. Right, got a blender out, just added some water, plugged in, yeah, make sure it's clear, and it'll drive the dogs absolutely nuts. Come on boys! So, we're going to get some foam, we've put water in here, so let that go in. Still got the same problem with the static. Let's get down on. It's all good fun. I could have poured the water in the pot a bit, I think, to damp this down first, and I wouldn't have the jumping foam situation. Right, I just need to go and get something to push it down, because whatever you do, don't stick your hand in it. Grab the wooden spoon, and gradually push this down into the water. Trying to get the sponge to soak up some water. And stop it jumping everywhere as well as it gets wet. Right. Good. Stick your lid on. Try not to knock everything off. Right. I'll be kind to you guys and actually mute the sound of the blender so I don't deafen you all. Though probably a bunch of deaf subscribers would probably increase my subscription rate. But I thought, no, I'll be kind. So just let this blend up. You can see it bouncing up and down. You know when it's done because the jumping around in the pot will be reduced and it'll just level out. There you go. So once you get to that stage, you can tell it's stopped jumping and it should be fine. So let's get this drained out. Right, once you've got your flock all blended up, grab a bowl and a sieve and just sieve it through. And put your hands in with the blade and just get some of this water out. Some water in it will help carry paint through it, but you can add water and that to the mix we use to colour it in a minute. So we just let that drain out and we'll start getting the paint mix together. Right, we'll mix up a paint mix to make it all clump together and colour it. So drop of water and get some paint. Don't use these sort of paints, these are kids' craft paints. I tried it once with that and it came out really bright. It just looked horrible. Probably right for sci-fi or something, but no, it was bright. So, what do I use? Bit of burnt umber. Bit of acrylic green. It's only cheap acrylics. And obviously we need PVA. So the first thing I'm going to do is whack in some PVA. Whacking a good dollop. Like so. Can't really give you a mix ratio, probably 25%, 30%. Obviously it varies on what type of PVA you're using. So let's give that a mix first, get that dissolved. I'm going to lift this out of the way. Oh, that's better. Right, give that a good mix, dissolve it in. And then I'm going to add a little dollop of brown. Back to my technical measurements here. Just a little bit. Have a good mix. You keep mixing until you can't see stringy bits. There we go. Then we got our green. Yeah, that's good. Straight on the brush, that's what I like to see. So get rid of that. And just use the water to wash that down. It's annoying when that happens. There we go. Get paint into it. Still too brown by quite a way because all the paint's stuck everywhere else. And just get this green into it. That's quite a dark green. I'll probably add a bit more green to that. So just keep adding until we're happy. So I'm going to get it spray straight. Let's get this out of the way this time. Come on. That's better. Right, so that's our mix done, and we just have to add that to the flock in a sec. So let's clear some of this out of the way to make some room. Right, now clear some space. We just get our paint mix and pour it on. Let it soak in. Give it a good squeeze, make sure you get it all. It's actually quite surprising how much this will take. You better to overdo it and maybe drain a bit off if you need to. So wrap this in. And a bit more. Oh, that's a good dollop. And just leave that to dry. Occasionally give it a mix about and clump it into lumps. But first of all, you might as well give it an hour or so. If it's hot, anyway, an hour or so to start drying out. So we'll leave that alone. Find you've squeezed out too much of the paint and it starts falling, please just get a dropper, put it back in the pot where you drained your paint into and just add a few drops to it. Let it soak in until it just holds together nicely. There you go, it's holding together quite well now. Just let that soak. And that pot, shove a lid on it, stick it somewhere, you can use it for the next batch. Right, while our clump foliage is drying, we'll crack on with our woodland scenic tree armature. I've bent this, I've given it a quick coat of black paint and stuck it onto an MDF base so it doesn't fall over. So what I'm going to do is get some thin down burnt amber paint. Let me do this as a half dry brush. Just to get a brown coat on it. Once we've coated the whole tree, we can then move on to the next colour. You'll see why that bit didn't get filmed in the blooper reel at the end. Right, once our brown's dry, we'll just give it a quick dry brush with some cream. And let it dry. Once that's dry, we're just going to grab some texture paint we made in a previous video. So please check that one out. I'll just whack this on. I wouldn't mind trying to blend out that little edge there, where it joins into the tree. So continue working around our base. It's quite nice being a tree, you can actually turn it to get to everything. Blending out the step of the plastic base from the armature so you get a nice smooth transition. And so I sort of scoop up a load of the mix on the brush and then wipe it off at the edge and then of the base and then work it in. As it starts to dry a little bit, you can play with it and stipple it. So give that a few minutes, let that dry up. Alright, now that's dry, I'm just going to grab some PVA, work it around the base. Stick some on, grab a brush. Up that little bit that goes up the tree. Cover that drawing in. There we go. And grab some of the coarse stuff. This is just like all the off casts from when I've been doing flock, and it all gets stuck in a pot. So we work our way around the base, course up against the actual trunk itself, helps cover up the plastic join, and then just sprinkle the rest of the finer flock around. As I said, this is all off-cast flock, so it's a nice mix. Then I've just got to get the end of the brush and I'll sort of move it about a bit to expose some of the earth underneath. Right, while that's drying, if you're careful, you can get some hobby tack. It's a tacky glue. Don't have to use hobby tack, you can use the cheap work stuff. They do a nice cheap tacky glue, just as good, and a fraction of the price. So what I'm going to do is get some tacky glue. I want to make sure the clump foliage sticks. When you're working around our tree, obviously you can turn it upside down, use the base to hold it. So you can make sure you get all the branches covered with tacky glue, and when it's covered, just leave it to dry. And that's dry. Right, now our tacky glue is dried, or well, tacky glue dried. Tacky glue's gone tacky, let's say. I can work my way around and put on little bits of this clump foliage we made. So we just pick out spiky little bits first. Don't worry if it shows a little bit white still, because that will dry a browny colour. So I'm just using the shards. So I'm getting the little awkward bits first. So we start breaking off at bigger lumps and we push them onto the end of the branches, and then we pinch them shut with your fingers so it pushes into the glue, and the tacky glue holds it all in place. It's actually quite surprising how good the bond is. So you see we're just working our way around. I started at the lower branches to make it easy on myself, so I didn't have to try and get between the branches after I put the clump foliage on. If you start at the top, it can get a bit awkward. So just think how you're going to do it, make life easy for yourself. You can still manipulate the branches and move them about a little bit if you have to. The paint doesn't tend to crack, it's just got a bit of flex to it. And you see it starting to come together. We'll work our way up. So we're nearly there. And as you see, it's coming together there, little squeeze. Any bits you don't like, you can just pluck off. You get the odd little bit that's sort of just hanging. Sometimes you like, sometimes you just want to nip it off. It's just what suits you and what you like the look of, and we're nearly there, so just continue working on up until we're finished. Once you've got the bulk of the tree covered, just get some small bits of clump foliage and check for any exposed tacky glue, and just push a little bit of clump foliage on it to cover up the tackiness. Right, there you have it, how to make a clump foliage tree. I hope you all found this video useful. I'll put some pics at the end of the video so you can see it in its full glory, so to speak. If you found this useful and liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to keep up to date, please subscribe and whack the bell to keep up to date with notifications, and I will see you all soon. Thank you for watching. Have a great week gaming. Cheers. On the back, and there's Teddy's arse. Oh, come on, I'm trying to film. Right, while clump foliage is drying, we'll crack on with our woodland scenics armature,